Hello, I'm Eddie Turner. I'm joined today with Bob Dean. Bob Dean and I have known each other for about 10 years. And over the last 10 years, we've had the great honor and privilege to collaborate on a number of high-level projects. One of the projects we're most proud of is our most recent collaboration on the inception of a corporate university for a Fortune 500 firm. During that project, the need was seen for a corporate governance model to operate the university under. Bob, can you speak a little bit about how that came about, the genesis of it, and what some of the components are?
Sure. Thank you, Eddie. Yes, having been a chief learning officer for a number of years, I thought I'd kind of seen everything, but in fact, when our client suggested that perhaps we needed a governance model for the learning and development function, it was a very interesting request. Now, governance is a really hot topic in business today. Given some of the corporate failures we've had and some of the problems in the economy, many companies are shoring up their governance through their boards of directors and their committees, such as an audit committee. And being a CPA as well, I understand the critical importance of sustainable governance. But as we began to put the learning and development model together, it occurred to me that I'd actually been working with a number of what I call the critical success factors. There's 10 of them. I've been working with them over the years, but I'd never put them together as a framework. So the project resulted in that framework. It all starts at the top with business sponsorship. And this involves the leadership of the organization or the company being very focused and supportive of the learning function. This could manifest itself in the light of a advisory board or a task force. But once you have that business sponsorship, then you inevitably begin to get better alignment between the business strategy in the company and the learning for the employees. The learning becomes more strategic. And what also helps in that area as we look at the first two levels of the governance model is an organization that has up-to-date role descriptions for their people and career paths, because that gives the learners more motivation to go through the learning paths.
Very interesting. So the client identified a need. You used your years of experience as a auditor, a CPA, and a partner to put it all together. And you came up with these 10 critical success factors and applied them in a new way. So there are 4 layers that you lay these 10 out in. So you described 2. Can you talk about the next 2 for us?
Yeah, and I want to reinforce, Eddie, what you said up front. This was a collaborative effort. It was a number of people putting their heads together and refining this model. The third layer is what I simply call resources, and this includes the obvious commitment of learners and instructors to developing themselves and to developing each other. That's critical. Yes. And it also includes the learning team itself, the capabilities of the learning team, and the budget of the learning team. So we don't want to leave those out because they're very important. And finally, the fourth level is what I call processes and platforms. It's the components that would be very familiar to learning leaders. It includes standardized processes, such as a learning design and development process. It includes modern facilities and technologies, which would include tools like learning management systems and learning channel delivery platforms, such as we're using today. It includes compelling learning content, which in this day and age is now largely becoming digital content that can be repurposed and delivered through multiple learning channels. And finally, it includes measurement, which really is closing the circle back to the sponsorship, because business sponsorship will be sustained through high impact results from the learning function.
Indeed, especially on measurement there, right? Because what gets measured is often what gets done. And that's a component that sometimes is either omitted altogether or not done very well. So, 10 critical factors for success, 4 different layers. It was interesting to have this review. We used this for a Fortune 500 corporation in the past, and as we're looking at taking on a couple of others, This review has been beneficial. It's been very helpful. I look forward to new implementations of it along with new refinements. Thank you for taking the time to go through this again.